Communication takes courage, right? Brene Brown says clear is kind. Like when you can have the courage to truly have a clear conversation with someone, that takes courage, but it's kind to them.
It's kind to them.
It's kind to them.
It's
no reason. It's so realistic. And I think women in leadership, we have to be able to have those conversations, not just to our female counterparts, but to the men in the room as well.
Hi guys, welcome to the AICPA Global Women's Leadership Conference. We were just talking about how energizing this is. I've been telling Chala this is her first AICPA conference and we have a couple scheduled for the next year, that it is not going to be this fun. What are your thoughts? First, introduce Niketa. And introduce yourself.
I'm Niketa Williams, and I am a CPA, but I work in the nonprofit sector. And this is my second time attending the Women's Leadership Conference. And this one has been the best one that I've
so far.
We've had some amazing women speakers that has just, like you said, been energizing. Make you believe you can do anything. You can.
Make us believe that we can live up to our potential. That's
Absolutely.
What I think. It's not just about doing anything. I think we have all this potential, you know.
Yes.
I mean, Sint was the last seminar that we saw.
Yes.
She is the former manager or the CEO
of the Dallas
Mavericks. We got pictures.
Yes.
We got pictures to show you guys.
Yes.
But she was just amazing. Her story was amazing.
Absolutely.
And, all the tables that she sat at, but she didn't just sit at the table. She brought other people with her. So one of the things I enjoyed about hers was the responsibility of being a leader.
Right.
Right. What did you think about her conversations? It's not just you're the leader and you're the president. Okay. And that's it. You sit up there. There are responsibilities that come with that.
Yeah, and she read the room, right? So once she got in the room, she read the room, read the room. Took a pulse and made it a point to make sure that there was some equality as it related to women at the table that were sitting with her. So she was able to make changes and bring other women into leadership positions so that there was some equality. And I think that's important because we don't often get that opportunity to do that. We're just getting to the table. So it's like, okay, we got our seat. Now what? Now what? But using your voice and trying to create that opportunity to have some change, I think is really important. And that's what she kind of highlighted, which was what was the purpose of the crowns, right?
Right.
Have another woman fix your crown.
I got my crown. I didn't want to put it on because Niketa didn't have hers. It's in her bag
kept
somewhere.
Getting in my braids, so I took it down.
Actually, and also Janine yesterday,
Janine's so bad.
She brought all those things to the table, and that we going back to what is the responsibility of the leaders. And what Janine talked about, which I think is something that we have to be responsible for as leaders, is that, there are people that come to the table and they're sitting there and there's they're sitting with 9 or 10 people and they see when things are being done in not the correct way or the way that it should be done, but they are silent.
Yeah. Don't say anything.
They don't say anything about it. And then when you're gone, then they say, then there's I saw this or I saw that. So what I got from Janine is you got to speak up.
Gotta speak up.
You could be a man, you could be a white man, you could be a brown man, you could be a black man, you could be gay, straight, purple. Doesn't matter what's happening at the table.
Yeah.
You gotta speak up. If you see that something shouldn't be right.
You see something, say something.
See something, say something, right?
And it's connected to your values which is what Sint was talking about this morning. What is important to you and what do you stand on? You know how sometimes the younger people say stand on business, what are you willing to stand for? And you don't have to say something for everything, but I have things that I'm willing to hey, I'll go out on this. If this means I'm gonna lose my job, if this means that this is gonna be the end of my career in this circle, I'm willing to put it on the line for something that really violates my core principles, my core values.
Absolutely.
And it's important to me. Fairness and integrity is a huge thing. So when I see someone being treated unfairly, and unfairly, even in the sense that they haven't even been told what they're not doing.
What they're not doing. Yeah. How do you know?
But you're taking action against them.
How do you know?
You've already written them off on their, like that to
communication. Right?
Yep. So yeah.
That is the one thing I believe women do much better than men, although we all as human beings struggle with communication. And I've heard this, I don't know where I heard it, but I've heard it where we say there's so many problems can be solved by just communicating a little bit more, by just talking through it. We don't all have to agree. We don't want to all agree.
Right.
Because that's a boring world.
Right.
Right? We want to be able to work and brainstorm and come to the place where everything gets better. And that's the other thing about women that I am so getting, is that with women working as a team, you know, I call it, you know, teamwork makes the dream a reality.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, right.
It makes it a reality. Yeah. Yes, it doesn't make it. It makes it works, but it's not a dream anymore. It's a reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, these two women were just.
Yeah, they were amazing. I mean, communication takes courage, right? You know, Brene Brown says, "Clear is kind." Like when you can have the courage to truly have a clear conversation with someone. That takes courage, but it's kind to them.
It's kind to them.
It's kind to them.
It's
no reason. It's so realistic. And I think women in leadership, we have to be able to have those conversations, not just to our female counterparts, but to the men in the room as well. Like, hey, this isn't working, or let me find a way to talk to you, and like, let's hash it out. But that communication is so important. And they really did hit on that in those sessions.
They did. And talking about our male counterparts, right? And like a lot of times going back to the communication thing is that I feel like they don't know. They're not wired a certain way.
They are not.
So if we don't tell them or we don't explain and then we bitch about it later,
yes,
excuse the word bitch, then what are we doing there?
Right. And at times the male counterparts can be
oblivious.
Yeah. And very challenging.
Very challenging, but we gotta...
early in my audit career, I would show up with a client, me and maybe a younger male intern or staff member, and they would immediately think he was the in charge.
Absolutely.
And address him. And I'm like, nope, it's me. Like, nope, it's me. Or I would show up and they would say, I'd be like, hey, you're Niketa. And I'm like, yeah. And it's two females. And I'm like, oh, I could tell by your name. You could tell what?
Right.
Like, what could you tell?
What can
that
you
I'm
tell?
an African-American woman by my name? Like, but they say it so casually. Like, it's all of those little things that sometimes you're just like, not okay, but I get it.
It's not okay, but then we kind of need to, sometimes the obliviousness goes all the different ways. So education responsibility of leadership comes with the education part, right? And education don't necessarily mean learning. So I have the saying that if I'm not learning, I'm not living, I'm dead. So you have to come to the table. You have to come to the table with that I'm going to learn something. You don't know everything. And for us as a leader, you have to say, like, it is my responsibility to teach and learn.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. I mean, I learned so much just in these sessions, but I was in another session about, I think it was sisterhood in the accounting world. And they were like, you know, what do you do when you look for a mentor? And I said at the table, which is something that I do need to work on. I'm kind of on the other side of my career, right? Where I'm not necessarily looking for a mentor, but it's like time for me to be a mentor to someone else.
Right.
To find ways to give back and, you know, just try to part some of this knowledge on other younger women in their career that are coming up. And some of them were at the table and we had some really great conversation. And they were like, hey, you know, you should probably get involved in your local state, you know, CPA organization just to kind of do that. But just continuing to find ways to help other women as they're coming through their career.
So do you find what I found is that half of my life, right? The 50 years before, I was busy with the kids, you know, doing all that stuff. So I did not get to be as involved maybe as my male counterpart or as our male counterpart but that's my choice. I chose to be present with the children, and you only have certain time, and that's what I chose to do. But what you're saying about getting involved now, I also feel like the decisions I made in that half, like I was telling the story where a lot of times when I'm at the table and I get ignored and I get whatever, I don't say anything. I don't choose the battle. I'm like, I don't need this, and I leave.
Right.
But that's my mindset has changed on that.
Yeah.
I'm choosing the battle because I've seen a lot of ladies like me leave, and then the girls that come after us, like I am coming after somebody else who chose to leave.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Because you're like, I got other things I could do. I don't even have time for this
Yeah,
fight.
I don't need to
this
deal
is a battle
with this.
I don't need today. Yeah.
But the battles are either going to be fought by me,
Yep,
or by the person that comes, because I've seen it where the generation before us, some of the ladies didn't fight the battles at the table.
Right.
So then now it's up to us to do it. But if we do it a little bit at a time, we're going to make a difference.
And I think we have more wisdom now. We have more composure. Like, I think at this age, we can better articulate ourselves without losing control of our emotions. So they can't say, oh, you're being so emotional. No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They always are going to say that.
Right.
Because that's one of the things that I've been told so many times in my life.
Absolutely.
Well, you're being too sensitive.
Yeah.
You're being too sensitive. That's not what I'm. Well, if I am sensitive, that's the one thing that I've learned is it's not a right or a wrong, right? It's who I am.
Right.
This, my feeling is real. It's mine,
Right. Why can't it be passion, though?
Yeah.
It's just passion. For them, it's passion. Like, oh, they're
for
so
me, it's passion.
But us, we're being emotional.
Yeah.
It's just we're passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. But I think at this stage, we can sit in those spaces now and really fight for the women that are coming behind us, because we have a little bit more wisdom. We have a little bit more composure, confidence.
Thicker skin, maybe?
Thicker skin. And we know exactly what we can do and say just to make it, and you never know who's watching. Even sometimes at work, people will come by my office and they'll just be like, I'm so glad you're sitting there in that corner office. I'm so glad someone looks like you is sitting there. And that's it. And they just leave.
Yeah.
They just go on about their day. And they don't necessarily have any desire to be in my position. They don't want my position. They don't want any of that.
Yeah.
They're just happy that has occurred.
It's occurred, and I feel like just like both of those two ladies that did the talk, they both talked about how diversity is you've been used kind of like, they didn't say this, but it's been used. I'm gonna say it. It's been used like a bad word in the past few years, months, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And this is like so enriching to me, because diversity here is celebrated. And you can see the celebration is real because it makes a difference. And it's not just you're sitting at the table or I'm sitting at the table. It's what we bring to the table.
It's what we bring to the table.
It's what we bring to the table. It's the dance moves that we got that somebody else don't have. So we can be asked to dance.
How to do the dance.
Right? Yes. I can show you some Bollywood dancing, right?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that. And additionally, I didn't have to demonstrate or prove why I'm at the table. Like, nobody here is saying, oh, well, where did you graduate from? Or how many degrees do you have? And do you have your master's degree? And do you have this? And do you have that? Like, you're here.
Right.
You're at the table. And so it's, like you said, it's being celebrated. It's not like, oh, well, I deserve to be. It's being celebrated. And that is so refreshing. It's
refreshing because diversity makes us makes us better. It's not the color of our skin or the clothes that we wear or whether we're a male or female or gay or trans or whatever it is. It's it is our different opinions and our different life and our different stories. It just makes us all better. So diversity in any way, you know, even if it's men sitting at the table, if they're coming from all different parts, their stories is different. So for us, it's the same thing. So the more diversity, the better.
Yeah. And then when you get down to it, when you peel back the layers, we're all women. We all have kids, or some have kids, some don't have kids. We either have husbands or spouses. Like when you peel back the layers and you get the opportunity to really talk to someone, we're going through the same. I could have a conversation. Do you have a 25-year-old? Yes. Ooh, well, let me tell you about mine. Oh, well, let me tell you about mine. And then we're going to find that common ground.
We're going to find that
common ground. As we start to talk about our college kids, our adult kids, our little kids, our spouses, our aging parents. We're going to all come back to a same common spot that we would never get to, because like you said, it's all of these things appear to be so different, but at the end of the day, especially here, we're all women.
We're all women. We're human,
fighting the same battles
in leadership, in the same field. So that's what we have so much in common.
So much in common.
I mean, I did the speed mentoring.
Oh, did you?
I don't know if you. So I was a mentor, and a lot of the things that the ladies brought up, younger ladies, they were bringing up the two main issues that they came to my table. I had about 10 different ladies. And the two main issues that came is they're afraid to put themselves out there. Some of them are moving up their ladder, but they don't know how to network. They don't know how to, they get scared when they go in a room. And then the second thing was, it's like, they don't feel like we in finance can sell. They feel like selling needs to be a part of what they're doing later on. And I'm like, so they're like, you look like an outward personality. How did you do it? And I said, well, I wasn't always, but when I walk into a room, I don't see 500 people.
Right.
You know, I just see maybe one person that I want to go up and talk to, or we have something in common, or we're drinking the same drink, or whatever it is. And I start talking to that person because, you know, I don't know about you, but faith always has a part in when I walk into that room.
Yes, absolutely.
Like God wants me to be here. He not only wants me to be there for me, he wants me to be there for the other person. And as women, and I want to hear your opinion on this. As women, we are used to multitasking, right? So we don't need to be there for one reason.
Right.
We can be there for 10 reasons.
Absolutely.
Don't you agree with that one?
Absolutely. And it's about just making those relationships.
Yes.
I met a lady in a networking event. She was a banker when I was in public accounting. And, you know, we just had a great conversation, just touch base with each other. And she ended up leaving bank and became a realtor. And 10 years later, she helped me sell my house. I called her. I was like, hey, I need a realtor. And she was like, absolutely. And it was those relationships that we made that I was like, I liked her character. I liked what she was about and what she
made
stood
an impact
for.
on you.
She made an impact on me. And we just, you know, it maybe twice a year she would say hello and that was it. But I knew when I needed her, and when I called her, I said, hey, I really need your help. And she was right there. So we absolutely can multitask, because whether it's for the present, whether it's for later, it really is about forming those relationships. I have a friend now who's a tax partner now in the firm, but when she was coming up, she was married and was having kids, and she called me one day and she was like, Niketa, I don't know how you did this. I don't know how you worked and had a kid and went to pick her up from daycare. I said, what choice do you have?
We don't.
I said, I didn't have a choice.
You just do it.
I couldn't cut my hours back.
Right.
I was a single mom. I couldn't cut my hours back. So I just had to do it. I said, so you can do it.
You can do it.
I said, you literally can do it all. And she was like, no. I said, absolutely you can. And I was like, let's talk about it. We talked about her schedule. We talked about some opportunities. And she was really afraid, like a lot of women. I'm sure someone probably have said this too. I've heard it about cutting their hours back so that they could pursue their family. Right. but is that going to be detrimental to their career?
To their career.
Right?
Does it stop it? Does it reduce it? Yeah.
But she didn't. She didn't cut her hours back. She kept at it. And, you know, her husband was there, and I think she has 2 kids now. But when she made partner, like, I couldn't have been any more proud. And she did. She called me and she was like, I don't know that I could have done this without your encouragement. And I'm like, that's what this is about.
The sisterhood is all about. So we've been talking a lot here about the sisterhood, and Niketa is been one. We met yesterday. We totally hit it off. She's gonna come to Florida to visit me. I'm gonna come to Virginia Beach and hang out with her, and we made this connection, but I'm gonna call her next year too and say, hey, are you coming back to this?
I know.
And maybe do you want to come kick some ass with one of the other conferences?
We gotta play golf when we come.
Oh yes,
I'll bring my clubs.
Golf and wine.
There you go.
Those are the 2 things that we found out we had in common, and that's how we hit it off.
There we go.
Niketa, I want you to come back on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Whenever we can. We'll do it virtual. We'll figure it out.
I love it.
I love the conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for talking with us. This is awesome. This is so authentic too. It really is.
Did you like it?
I love it. It's just like having a chit chat.